So just recently, the SMS mandate came out from the FAA, and after reading over it, it's missing quite a few things. Stick here. This is the Safety Wire Podcast. Hey everybody, welcome to the Safety Wire Podcast. My name is Tim Wade and I'm your host. Recently, the FAA came down with the mandate for SMS programs involving Part 135 and Part 91 operators based off the NPRM that came out last year. And a lot of people took to the airwaves and took to social media and said, thank goodness SMS is mandated, now we're safe. Not quite. That's not really how that works. Just because you have an SMS program does not mean you have a proactive, productive, continuously improving safety program. A lot of times you have an SMS program and it's a binder sitting on your shelf. So just because you meet the standards for an SMS mandate, does that truly mean that you have a properly running safety program? And absolutely not, because they can only mandate so much. You can only require so much. The mandate is missing a lot of pieces that are required for a safety program to be properly running in a productive, proactive state, which is essentially what an SMS program should be. You should meet the regulations, but best practice on how to actually run that program is so much deeper than that. And unfortunately, the things that create that cone of safety and that essence of safety that you're really truly looking for when it comes to an SMS program can't be mandated. You can't force, you can't regulate certain things that truly make an SMS program run properly. We're going to go over 3 of those here today. I know there are many, many more, but please don't fall for the trap that just because you implement an SMS program fully within the guidelines of the FAA or any other regulatory body that you are perfect and you do not need to do anything else with it. And unfortunately, a lot of people are stepping into that thinking that I meet the criteria, I must have a great program. Not quite. All right, so there's 3 things we'll go over here today. First, solid reporting. Now, when I say solid reporting, I don't just mean that you are receiving in reports. Now, that's great if you are. If you're getting good reports coming in, outstanding. But solid reporting stands for a few other things. It means a trustworthy reporting culture. Not only do your employees trust the safety program, but the safety professionals actually maintaining the safety program trust the data that's coming in from the employees. It's a two-way street. The information you're asking your employees to submit a lot of times is extremely personal. If it's an incident report, they are most likely having a bad day at work. Either they had an injury, they had damage, they had a rough time, and they're submitting that information in. It's a very vulnerable time. If they're submitting in a hazard, they might be worried about their well-being. Old school safety would say, don't submit hazards. You could be in fear of your job. So there's a lot of trust that goes in with solid reporting. That being said, once the trust is established, the data you're receiving in from these reports is extremely important as well. Garbage in, garbage out, good stuff in, good stuff out. So solid reporting stands for much, much more than just information sharing. It stands for we have trust and we have great data coming through. We have good information coming through. Once again, that's not something that can just be mandated with a new SMS program, a new SMS regulation coming down the pipeline. It's only something that can be built up over time as we work hand in hand with our employees, hand in hand with our teams. They know what's required of in our safety programs, and we know the product we're giving back to them as each report comes through. Which brings me to my next point. Another thing we can't just mandate because we want to is a supportive culture. The culture that surrounds your SMS program cannot just be turned on with the flip of a switch. And just because you say you have an accredited FAA SMS program does not mean you have built that culture. You can make it all the way through accreditation without the supportive culture piece. It would be extremely difficult, and your program is not going to run well after that. But you can meet all the checklist items on your SMS program without getting into that piece. Now, if you want your SMS program to run functionally, if you want it to run greatly and be something you can be proud of, you need that supportive culture. And this starts way before you put in your letter of entry into the SMS program. That supportive culture piece is being out on the floor, being out on the flight line, talking with your teams, letting them understand not only what an SMS program is, why you're doing it, how it's going to impact them, and what should they expect in return once the SMS program is put in place. They want to know, hey, I'm going to be putting in some more work. I'm going to be doing some more training. I'm going to be giving you more reporting. What am I getting in return? How am I being supported and assisted by my safety team? So that's going to build that culture, a lot of information sharing, going back to the reporting piece, a lot of trust, and we're going to start to build up that culture where people can see good feedback coming back to them. And the last piece I'm going to say, and there's not an easy way to say this, is basically a no BS safety program. And what I mean by that is, in order to have a properly running safety program and a properly running SMS program, you need to be able to hear hard truths. The best and the most influential key component of any SMS program, and I cannot stress this enough, is the ability to practice continuous improvement. You need to look at your own safety program from time to time and go, that's a load of crap. I need to completely change this. I need to revamp this. Nobody wants to hear that their baby's ugly, but sometimes when we're building these safety programs, we get so narrow-minded and so completely invested in this one piece of paper, this one program, that we lose sight that maybe it's not that great. Just because it's great to me does not mean it's great for the entire organization that it's now supporting. So understand that at times you are going to need to look at your own SMS program and go, you know what? I know I've put in a ton of work to this. It's not working. We need to revamp it. And that's what continuous improvement is, being able to answer those hard questions, take those hard truths, completely revamp your program, and move forward. Because an SMS program essentially will fail if you cannot practice continuous improvement, because it's what's holding everything else together that does require continuous improvement. You need to be able to run SRAs on all of your stuff. You need to be able to do that safety assurance piece and completely go through the checklist of knowing that your programs are running properly, to include your own SMS program as well. Okay, so those are the three things that we discussed today: solid reporting, a supportive culture, and the ability to hear hard truths. All of those cannot come down in an FAA mandate. However, they are extremely important to properly run your safety program. If you have any questions or concerns about implementing your own SMS program down the line, please reach out. I would love to chat with you. I've said it a few times in the past that most likely, if you are getting ready to implement SMS, you probably have 60 to 80% of the building blocks already in place. You just need to tweak them a little bit and get them lined up to actually go through that SMS gap analysis. So if you need any information, if you need any assistance with yours, I would love to sit down and have a quick chat with you and get you lined up and hopefully put your mind at ease. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would love to get this podcast out to more people and continue growing the platform. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is the Safety Wire Podcast.